Okay, so knowing this generation, honestly, a lot of people do the devil's lettuce. And let's just say a lot of different types of things. Like, for example, vaping and stuff. And me on this channel, I want to say that first thing, no one should be doing this. But let's just say I even had my time doing it. And I'm not going to lie to you. There was one moment in my life where I actually ended up dating my dealer. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to another insane story. So this story has a lot of crazy things that you guys will realize when you guys go through high school. But basically, it all starts off back when I was in high school, and this was actually my grade 12 year. Now, me before grade 12, I'm not gonna lie to you. The only thing I would do that's considered a sin was doing the devil's tango. But other than that, I would always refuse to do any sort of drugs or anything like that. It's not fun doing drugs. Like, seriously, every person I've seen do drugs in high school, well, they're still doing it to this day and living under their parents' basement. But me personally, I remember one time, it was towards graduation, and my buddy told me, yo, bro, trust, bro, like, you smoked once, bro, like, you gotta do it again one time. And if you guys haven't seen my first time doing the devil's lettuce, there's a video on that linked in the description below. But anyways, going on with the story, I remember basically, after my first time, I really didn't want to do it again. But then my buddy invited me to a party, and he said that a lot of people are going to be doing the seshing there, or aka the devil's lettuce. And honestly, I always wanted to hang out with more friends and stuff, and honestly, how bad could it be? Other than me hating the smell of the devil's lettuce, I didn't really care. So I remember one day after school, basically me and my buddy, we ended up driving over to my buddy's place that was having this little party. I remember when he got there was a lot of people there, but there was one girl specifically that I looked at that looked actually normal. She didn't seem like any sort of stoner, vapor, none of that kind of stuff. She seemed like a total normal person. Not saying that, you know, stoners aren't normal people, but like, you know, knowing how fast my brain moves is actually kind of concerning. It always feels like I'm thinking 100 miles per hour. But basically, knowing how like a stoner, when I would talk to one, they talk like, oh yeah, what's going on, man? Oh yeah, that's good, bro. It really makes me irritated of how slow they are. And if you guys are anything like me, you guys would know it's irritating. So basically, I remember later on throughout the day of me basically hanging out at this party with me and my buddy and seeing a bunch of people getting absolutely wasted. My eye contact was still with the same girl that seemed totally normal. It was super weird to see her because every time I would look at her, I couldn't see her as a stoner. So obviously with my mind boggling thinking, who is this girl? I ended up walking up to her saying, hey, like, how's it going? She looked at me and she's like, oh, are you like trying to pick up something? Pick up something? No, I just wanted to talk to you. Oh, okay, that's kind of weird, is what she said to me, which made totally no sense because I have no idea why I would be super odd if I just wanted to talk to her. But then she ended up telling me, oh, so like, do you like not want to like sesh or anything? No, not really, is what I told her. And then at that point, she thought I was some sort of weirdo, I guess. I have no idea. But then this girl started talking to me and I started talking to her and we started talking about basic life stuff. I guess my unspoken riz and my amazing, I guess, light-skinned face. No, I'm kidding. But basically, my ultimate riz got to her, I guess, and one thing led to another. Me and her, we went outside of the house and just started talking even more. But at this point, we were beside each other, cuddling, and, you know, things became kind of, well, in the mood, I guess. Now, before anyone says anything, no, I did not do the devil's tango outside with her in the front lawn, okay? I'm not insane, I think. But basically, I remember when me and her were just cuddling, one of my buddies ended up coming outside looking, not for me, but for the girl. I remember I was super confused, but basically, my buddy ended up walking up to this girl, and he said, yo, I was just wondering, can I buy a pack? I looked at him, and I'm like, what? And then the girl ends up saying, yeah, how much do you need? And then literally, I don't know where my buddy pulls out $50, and this girl randomly, magically, out of her purse, pulls out some devil's lettuce. It was super weird, and me seeing this go down made it seem like I was part of a drug deal, and honestly, I'm just gonna say this now, no one should be selling any sort of product unless you are like a part of the government, obviously. But other than that, seriously, it was super sketchy to see like this deal go down. And I remember I looked at her and said, oh, wait, is that what you meant by like you like selling stuff? She looks at me and says, yeah, I'm like the local dealer down here. I was super weirded out when she said this, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like, do you like work on the side? Like, do you go to school? And then she ended up telling me, oh no, I do this full time. I make only like, I want to say like almost $120,000 per year. What is what I said? There was no way this girl was making fat money like that. It blew my mind. And me being in high school, I won't lie to you, money is a really hard thing to get by. Like, let's be real here. All you high school students out there, how many jobs are you guys in right now just trying to pull money? It absolutely is almost mission impossible to pull a lot of money during high school unless your mommy and daddy help you out. But other than that, when she told me she was making almost $120,000 per year, I was amazed. And at that point, that's when I fell into a dark hole. I remember I basically ended up getting this girl's Snapchat afterwards, and let's just say I dispersed. I went back to my buddy's car and we ended up driving away, and basically I went home, she went home, and basically the party ended. And I want to say it was super weird because I remember when I was home, she ended up messaging me saying, hey, so like you're absolutely like not a stoner, right? And I ended up telling her that that I've never done it other than one time, and I absolutely hated it. She laughs and says, okay, well, do you want to like help me with my business? I'll give you a good cut. Sure. What do I gotta do? Is what I said afterwards. And then she said, oh, like basically like help me sell like this product and stuff I need to like put out. And like a lot of buyers are at your school, so just keep it low key. So at that point, I ended up basically becoming an associate of hers and working under her. Kind of weird, but I guess it is what it is. I remember from then, basically, she would always end up pulling up to my school, handing me a bunch of product. I'm not gonna say what, because obviously I don't want to get arrested. But basically, she would hand me over some stuff, and I would end up selling throughout the school. I would walk around passing over some, you know, devil's lettuce. And basically, I would be making, I want to say like $200 in my pocket every day after school. Who knew how many kids were stoners nowadays? It's actually kind of concerning. Anyways, I remember afterwards, basically, I always had to like give her a cut of the money that, you know, she gave me because of the purchase and stuff. I don't know. It's like a whole dealing factor, but basically I would give her a percentage of how much I made. And then afterwards, I remember I ended up meeting up with her after school over to her place. And basically when I knocked on her door, I instantly just pulled out the cash and handed it to her. She ended up looking at me smiling saying, for your first time, you actually did pretty good. And I said, yeah, thanks. You know, I'm learning. Little did she know I knew a lot of kids that ended up doing the devil's lettuce. So it was kind of like, you know, giving candy to a baby and opening my own store. Like, I don't know. It was pretty easy. I'm not going to lie to you. But she thought more of it. And one thing led to another. She ended up inviting me inside. When I went inside her place, she lived really nice. And she lived in an apartment by herself. For a girl that was in grade 12, or I think actually maybe 1 year older than us, it was pretty neat. And basically she would sit down with me, talk to me and stuff. And she said how she found me attractive. And well, I think you guys already know, one thing led to another. We ended up doing the devil's tango at her place. Now, I wish the story ended off there, but basically at that point, she really wanted to be with me. And I kind of said like, sure, we can be together, because I don't know what this girl could do to me. Because, you know, she was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but every very beautiful girl has like a certain percent of crazy in her. So obviously I didn't want to risk anything with my life, especially because she's already willing to risk her life stealing, you know, the devil's lettuce and so much more. Why should I put myself in risk? Because who knows what else this girl would do. And then afterwards, she ended up showing me more inventory after we did the devil's tango. And I remember I ended up putting some stuff in my bag and ended up going to school the next day. When I went to school the next day, I remember I was like, you know, doing my thing, dealing and stuff and getting work done basically, or work in quotations, I should put it. And then she ends up coming to my school. And reminder, this girl didn't go to my school, but she ended up coming to my school, walking up to me and saying, yo, Baba, you need to keep it low key. Like, seriously, cops are on the way. Wait, what is what I said? And then afterwards, I remember at that point, I was stuck holding a bunch of devil's lettuce in my hand and I was scared. I didn't know what to do. So I remember I ended up going to my school's football field and burying it. And then afterwards, I ended up running up to the girl saying, okay, what do we do now? She ends up looking at me saying, wait, where'd you put all the devil's lettuce? And I'm like, oh, I hid it. And then afterwards, when I told her I hid it, out of nowhere, 2 cops end up pulling up into the school and literally see her and actually run after her. And when she saw the cops running after her, she ended up running as well. I never got to tell her where I ended up putting the devil's lettuce. But basically, one thing led to another. She ended up getting tackled in the school hallway. And yeah, let's just say they found a lot of COKE on her. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, so obviously for demonetization reasons, not gonna say it. And that was basically it. She ended up getting arrested, and yeah, we kind of just broke up after that. I don't know. Let's just say dating a drug dealer is not the best idea. But anyways, guys, that's basically it for today's story. Make sure to do leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, fall for more embarrassing stories. Peace out, guys.